This is Ashley Boyd. This is Katherien. Katherien, can you please let us know who you are and what you do?
Okay, my name is Katherien Lundin. I'm a professional clairvoyant medium, and I have been a professional clairvoyant medium for over 10 years. I actually pursued this through the encouragement of my husband, who's my best friend, my mom, and my sister. They're the ones that initially gave me the big push to just go out and do it, be you. But actually growing up, so as a child, and I do realize a lot of children, and this is what I've seen, sometimes they get that, no, this isn't real. Go back to bed, little Susie. You're crazy, or,
Totally.
under the bed. Yes, sometimes there is. So growing up, I was the little girl that was afraid of the witch under my bed. I was a little girl that seen things. The fortunate thing was that my mom and dad were both very open spiritually, and we as children grew up with a lot of folklore and mysticism, and we were able to talk about the scary witch or the ghosts, or we were able to hear the stories of folklore and mysticism that were passed down through our lineage. So I feel very blessed for that. However, going into I'm going to call it the real world, as adults, okay, sometimes people are like, what? Okay, she talking about what? Why would you say that?
Yes.
I don't know why I would see that, because the man behind me told me to, but
Right.
regardless, I don't think I'm going to see anything anymore. So I feel that's always the difficulty with a lot of very gifted people.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's always a difference though between intuition and having a gift. So I don't want to step on toes, but this is what I feel. So in terms of intuition, that's a survival skill. We all have intuition. Every single one of us has intuition. We are built with that. I'm going to say it's almost like an animal instinct. And yes, we can learn to trust that. And we should trust that, because if your gut says, don't talk to this scary person, please don't talk to the scary person. Your gut's telling you that for a reason. And then we go into gifts, okay? Some of us, and this is since childhood, and even though some of us may have blocked this out, so it's a lot of children that, you could even have a little child that would be like, Mommy, I don't like my teacher. Well, your teacher's nice. Well, maybe the little child is picking up that the teacher's going through something bad. So this is, I'm going to say, the beginning of the empath, okay? So I'm always saying, listen to the children, or it could be little Bobby or Susie who has the invisible friend. Well, sometimes the invisible friend isn't so invisible to little Bobby and Susie. Or when they tell you, I see grandma, well, maybe they do.
Right.
Maybe they do. So I'm going to state that it's a dimmer switch. It's not a light switch. We don't turn it on or off. Children don't turn it on or off. They just learn, especially, I'm not saying to push them to explore their gifts. I'm saying to just let them explore their gifts on their own time, as well as you as adults, explore on your own time. Learn to fine tune the dimmer switch. Okay, so sometimes, and this is why you get a lot of people, and I see with a lot of females, especially after they go into motherhood, oh my God, like, why am I feeling so weird? Like, why am I hearing things? Am I having a psychotic episode? No, that dimmer switch it's not broken. It's just on high. So the light is so bright now that you don't have the control anymore to shut it off. It's really learning to fine tune that, as well as really saying, you know what, maybe I'm a medium. Maybe I'm a clairvoyant. I'm a clairvoyant medium, which means I hear messages. I see things. Okay, I even smell. I sometimes even taste things, which are really tasty or really disgusting. Okay, I feel emotions. I even feel weather. I know it sounds weird, but there have been times when I've been with clients and I'm like, oh my gosh, were you just, something with a rainstorm because I feel cold and I'm like, oh my gosh. No, it's because I literally feel that.
Right.
Do I know where this comes from? No, I don't. There's theories You know what I mean? I believe there was a doctor who wrote a book. I can't remember what her book was, but she was even saying that a lot of intuition, what she has found, has been passed on through generations. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, we might not know that because back then, maybe great Aunt Judy didn't talk about it because she was scared to be in a mental institute.
Right.
Okay? Or maybe she was. Okay, but it wasn't because she was crazy. It was because she was a medium. I'm not making excuses and I'm not discrediting our medical
No.
system whatsoever. I'm just pointing out that these things happen.
Absolutely. And as being a nurse and working in the emergency room with a lot of mental issues that are developing and have developed already from these patients that I would see, I almost feel like 70 to 90% of them don't have a mental disorder. They just don't understand what's going on with them.
Well, they don't, because a lot of this, and I'm sure because you're an empath, correct? And I'm
Yes.
sure a little bit of a clairvoyant.
Uh-huh.
um, and sometimes bridge between the gap of mediumship, okay? So sometimes you can be in intense situations, and you have two children, and I feel both of them actually have beautiful gifts, okay?
Yes.
And so there may have been some times where it's like, oh my gosh, like, is something wrong with me? Is something wrong with my child? Something wrong with both? Like all three of us? No, you're just ultra sensitive. So we get these ultra sensitive people, we put them in a crowd, and then we wonder why they have intense anxiety. It's because it's like a tornado going like this, and you
Exactly.
why?
Totally.
And people don't, it's hard to explain that to people. And then I'm going to talk about the spiritual closet, so to speak.
Right.
So you may have people that have known you for, let's say, X amount of years, and then you come out and say, this is who I really am. A lot of those people, sometimes they're like, really?
Totally.
Well, yeah, this is who I've always been. However, these people, sometimes they don't get it. And I'm not meaning to be harsh. I'm just a very blunt person.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just state, I like my strong coffee, but I also like my cookies. So that's how I give my information. A little bit bitter, a little bit sweet, okay? Having said that, some people, I know they don't mean to, but they just don't have the understanding. And that also makes it difficult, I'm gonna say, for a lot of people that are finally tuning in to really express themselves, okay? In terms of mentorship within this industry, that is a very hard thing. And simply because, yes, the industry has a stigma. It really does, but it comes from somewhere, okay? Just like any industry has stigmas, okay? Any industry. You know, there's the good, there's the bad, okay? And unfortunately, in this industry, there is the bad, meaning the misconception. So I'm sorry, once again, I'm very blunt for stepping on people's toes. There is a difference between intuition. There's a difference between a gift. Okay, and there are people within my industry that exploit, they do, I'm sorry, they exploit that. So going to learn about how to develop your intuition, I feel beautiful, okay? But don't mistake one for the other, okay? Right. That feeling we all have. Just like for you, I'm sure, especially working in a facility, because I did at one point for many years myself, like literally you want to run out of there because you feel like you're going to have a mental breakdown. And it's not because you're having a mental breakdown, it's everyone's emotions.
Yeah. I'm like fun.
Right. And knowing that is different than intuition.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very it's not your gut, and it's not, oh my God, maybe she needs medication. No, it's she needs to learn how to fine tune the dial. Okay, the switch isn't broken, it's just gone a little bit like this.
Right,
and
absolutely.
why, you know, within the industry, it's good to have mentors and people that can help somebody differentiate, is this a gift? Is this something for me to look into as a professional? Because sometimes, even though it may be a gift, it doesn't make it for someone to go into the professional realm, meaning sometimes they can't do it for everybody. And that's okay too. Okay, sometimes they can only do it for the people that's closest to them. And I say, you know what? That's a blessing in itself. a blessing in itself. It's a beautiful thing for someone to say, especially a good friend, you know what, this is going to happen, be careful. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So it doesn't mean, bottom line, we're not all the same, and people have to realize that and be open.
Well, I think it's important to, like you said, when you're deciphering between intuition and gifts, things can also overlap. So you really have to know yourself well to know whether that's your intuition going on or if that's a gift, because at first, being highly sensitive, empathic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, and I also feel pain. So I would have trauma patients that I would see what would go on. I'd feel their pain. They'd come into the emergency room. But prior to all that happening, I knew something bad was going to happen. I just didn't know to who or to what.
Well, because there's so much energy.
It was so crazy. So once I understood what was going on, I was able to really, like, for lack of a better word, like open and close a gate to let that energy in, to know that it wasn't me feeling that craziness or that like the pain was like unbearable pain, but it wasn't mine, that I would feel it in a different way. So you can definitely learn to hone in on these different things, almost like categories, even though they can go together.
Yes, the dimmer switch. You know, and having said that, I am a migraine sufferer to begin with. So quite often, if I have a client, whether this is telephone, Skype, email, if they have a headache, I will tune into that and I will get their headache. Okay, which isn't fun for me. And I guess in a weird way it validates me. But nonetheless, this is part of it as well. So talking about picking up on somebody's physical traumas, for somebody that does have like empathy within their gift, so to speak, it is very important for that person to take the step back, to identify that, you know what, this is why, and to dim that switch. You know what I mean? So sometimes, depending on how much information or how it comes through, yes, we're playing with a lot of switches.
There are so many switches. I was talking to this gentleman who's a neuroscientist, and he was talking about algorithms that are in our brain, and he specializes in basically highly sensitive people with intuitive abilities, and also clairvoyant, clairaudient. And it's very interesting how he was saying, like, these gates open and close, but they create these algorithms. So to be able to hone in on your abilities, you just really have to concentrate and be aware of what's going on. And then these algorithms keep building each other, and it's almost like a repetition. So then you really become very good and aware of which channel you're opening and closing. So then that way, as a sensitive person, you know that you can close that channel so you don't feel so bombarded by all that energy all the time.
And that is true. I also feel when we talk about algorithms, especially in terms of clairvoyance, mediumship, empath, we, people that are sensitive to that, do tap into frequencies. Okay, so those go hand in hand. So I feel it would look like the algorithm and the frequency. So kind of like a hot mess. Okay. Boiling up. So it is very important, whether somebody is, you know, wanting to learn more about their own gifts, learn about how to tap more into their intuition, to first learn to quiet the self. So I think that is the most important component of it all, which sometimes people don't necessarily talk about, meaning we have to take that time. And even if it's just for, you know, we'll say the survival instinct, take the time to quiet. And I always recommend this. You need 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes. Okay? And I'm not talking on the phone where I'm going to look at my iPad for that. No. 5 minutes. Quiet. Not taking a nap. Quiet. Especially if you have children.
Yes.
Especially if you have children. And husbands too.
Yes.
Okay? 5 minutes from them too. They'll drive you crazy. In a good way. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe I'm not. Okay, anyway. So that's very, very important.
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I had a blast. I think this is an awesome interview. I had a great laugh. Will you let people know where they can actually find you? What's your website?
My website is www.katherinclairvoyant.com, and my name is spelled Katherien, and then clairvoyant.com. I do hope to hear from you, and I would love to connect with you all. And once again, if you're looking for somebody that is going to give you a shot of espresso with a tasty cookie, that's me. Okay, I hope to hear from you all. And to all of you on your journey in this vast arena, I'm saying be patient. Take the time for you to tap into yourself 5 minutes a day, okay? And try to seek somebody like-minded and open to your gifts, okay? Because there is a big and beautiful community out there of people that are willing to share and willing to help guide you on the right path towards exploring those gifts.
I couldn't embrace that more. That's amazing and a beautiful message. Thank you again, Katherien. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Ashley. I hope to hear from you again sometime. Have a beautiful day. And I love your blue earrings because I'm wearing blue too. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Bye.